Take a deep breath. Have you ever thought about what you breathe in every time you take a breath? We can't see it, we can't feel it, but air is all around us. Because we can't see air, we often think that air is empty. But air actually contains many different things. So today, I'd like to talk about what's in the air out there. You probably know that air around you is composed of a lot of different gases. The two main gases that make up the air are nitrogen and oxygen. Nitrogen makes up 78%, and oxygen makes up 21% of the air we breathe. But there are also about 10 other gases that are in the air in very small amounts. And even though we can't see or smell or taste these gases, we could not live without them. The amount of water vapor in the air, in other words, the humidity level, is something I know you're all familiar with. If you hear on the news that today's humidity is 80 or 90%, that means there's a lot of water vapor in the air. If you are outdoors and it is hot and humid, your clothes will probably feel sticky and you'll probably feel uncomfortable. But if you hear that today's humidity is 50%, that means there's a lot less water in the air. 50% is comfortable for most people. Deserts and other dry places can have a humidity level of only 10%, not much water in the air at all. When you're outside in 10% humidity, your mouth will probably feel dry and you'll need to drink something soon. Before we move on, let's talk about how water vapor gets into the air. Now, the most obvious source is rain, snow, and other forms of liquid or solid water that falls from the clouds. Sometimes the rain or snow changes to vapor as it falls, and it stays in the air. But water vapor can also enter the air from sources on Earth, from oceans and rivers, from trees and plants, and even from the ground. So far, we've talked about gases and water vapor in the air. Have you ever thought about the idea of solids in the air? The term particulate matter is defined as any tiny pieces of solids that are small enough to float in the air. Now, these tiny pieces of matter are so small that they're carried in the air and they're too light to fall to the ground. There are many different kinds of particulate matter. Some are found in the air naturally, and others are human-made. That is, they're the result of human activity. I'd like to talk about a couple of different types of particulate matter. Let's start with particulate matter that occurs naturally. When a volcano erupts, it shoots smoke and ash into the air. In the same way, a forest fire fills the air up with smoke. When the ocean waves crash against the shore, salt and sand fly into the air. Flowers, trees, plants, they release pollen, or a powder made by flowers, and other natural matter. Have you ever walked through a field and then started sneezing? That might be pollen in the air entering your nose. Dirt and dust from the environment may be picked up by the wind, then fly into our eyes and make them red and itchy. All of these are examples of naturally occurring particulate matter that is found in the air. Humans also add particulate matter to the air. Because of human actions, there are some substances in the air that shouldn't be there. Or there's too much of certain substances, and this is what we know as pollution. When humans burn wood for cooking and heating, or they burn plants or trees, they add particulate matter to the air. When humans cut down trees and take water from the land, it's easier for dirt and dust to be picked up and carried in the air. But the activity that creates the most pollution is the burning of coal and other fossil fuels. This means every time we use fuel to power a factory or run a car, pollution is added to the air we breathe. When we breathe these particles in, they can hurt our eyes, our throats, and our noses, or cause more serious health problems. Let me just remind you, the next time you look around at all that empty air, there really is a lot out there.